Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live, in play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please play responsibly.
Hey, Oilers fans, welcome back to Game Over Edmonton. I'm Zach. That's Dennis. And it's an awesome Oilers game tonight, and we're so lucky to be joined by Ashley Callingbull. She was the first Indigenous woman to be featured in the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit edition. She was a contestant on Amazing Race Canada. She was Mrs. Universe in 2015. A ton of other accomplishments. You were the host on the most recent Indigenous celebration night at Rogers Place. We're so lucky to be joined by you. If you want to just say what's up to everyone, say a little bit about who you are, and maybe how you became an Oilers fan.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley Callingbull-Rabbit. I'm from Enoch Cree Nation. So I actually grew up watching the Oilers my whole life. I lived just outside Edmonton, so that's like my hometown team. And it's crazy, like actually hosting the game and thinking back to when I was a little girl. My family would be making the old style popcorn where you pop it yourself, and we all get in front of the TV when the Oilers are on, because that's how we got together. And sports brings everyone together. And I've never played hockey myself, but being like an avid hockey fan, it was like really a dream come true to be hosting in that environment, because I'm a host also in the CFL and the National Lacrosse League as well, and now the NHL. So it's awesome just to be kind of in any sports environment. It's just I just thrive off the energy.
Yeah, it was awesome to see you on the broadcast, sitting there talking to Gene at the intermission and whatnot. I thought you did a fantastic job, obviously. My favorite part of that night was looking at the Turtle Island jerseys in the warm-up. Both Dennis and I talked about it on the broadcast we did for that night. That's got to be a top 3 Oilers jersey of all time, and it would be awesome if one day they could actually wear that in a game.
I wish they could wear it for a game and also sell those. Those would killing, instead of just auctioning off the game worn, make some for everyone, because I know a lot of people would want those.
Totally.
You hear that, OEG?
Yeah,
Ashley demands it. You gotta fulfill us.
When I bought my Ethan Bear,
the game Indigenous Night, the Smudge the Blades partnered with the Oilers, and they made those custom Turtle Island gear and sweaters and whatnot. They completely sold out. So imagine with the jerseys, that would be next level.
I know for myself, even when I got my Ethan Bear jersey, 3 years ago, I got the Cree letters on the back, right? Just because it's so cool, right? I love that stuff, and I would love to see them. I know if they sold them, I would for sure buy as much as I can, because one, I'm a sucker, and pretty much any merch the Oilers put out, I end up buying. But fantastic. Otherwise, I know everyone's kind of here to talk about the game that happened tonight. And what a game it was. Finally, we get consistency when the Oilers came out again. They are 2 bottom feeding teams, but the Oilers came out against San Jose. San Jose never had a chance. The Oilers were dominant from start to finish. Connor McDavid on his 26th birthday, Leon Draisaitl in his 600th NHL game, just performed like we know they can. The depth showed up, and from top to bottom, it was fantastic. Guys, Ashley, I'll ask you first. What did you think about tonight?
Wow, what a game. Oh, it just kept going and going and going. I said that it would have been nice if there was a hat trick for the birthday boy, but we can't have it all. And it would have been nice if the Sharks didn't score at the last bit there, so we would have had a shutout. But still, great game. But can we talk about Gene at the beginning, before the game even started? How he was wearing that birthday hat and the cake. I was like, can he do that for every game? Have some kind of theme dress up and keep it on?
Knowing Gene, he wants to do this every game. Just production is the one holding him back.
Yeah,
that man just oozes the confidence of just an incredible senior. He's able to get in there. I would love to see him in any costume, right? If they're playing against the Nashville Predators, I want to see him in that onesie. I want to see him in a jumper where he's slaying a cat. That'd be amazing.
what I've heard about what I've heard about Gene is pretty much every costume, every prop that he uses, it's pretty much out of his own pocket, right? Production.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any production budget whatsoever. So he's so addicted to the craft. He's such a master of it that he goes out and spends his own money every day, whether it's the banana costume before the game, no matter what it is, he's always putting 110% effort in, even though production doesn't necessarily support him on the level we'd like to see. If he had a budget, I can't even imagine what he would do. But yeah, no, that was awesome. And also, if you would have asked me, I don't think I ever in my life would have thought I've heard as much furry talk on a broadcast as I did tonight. What was that all about? Oh my God.
Well,
That was crazy.
the boys were just happening to stay at a hotel where there was a furry convention. And I guess a lot of people now know about furries.
You want to know something funny? A quick story. My sister, she's really into anime and cosplay. And the first time she ever came to my job for the Edmonton Elks, she was sitting in the president's suite. And my sister is now a furry. Like she wears like the full on ears and like the tail and everything.
Oh my
So
gosh.
Those
I'm
are
like,
pricey if I know what I'm talking about.
they
Like those
move.
are
She controlled the ears from her hands, and I was like, all right. And I couldn't stop talking about it. So if I saw a furry convention, I probably wouldn't stop talking about it either.
how much do we have to pay Gene to get one of those? Like if he shows up in the next game in a furry outfit to start.
Oh, that'd be so funny. Well, my first like exposure to it was Jack Michaels posted on his story just a random picture, and it looked like he was just attending the furry con for no reason, right? And I was so shocked. I was like, "What the hell is going on this guy's Instagram?" But then I guess there was a little bit more clarity on the broadcast, so that's cool. But yeah, that was a crossover I definitely did not expect. So yeah, that was really wild to me. But yeah,
But going back to the game, like the fact that this team is now finally showing a little bit of consistency, like you mentioned, and my star, even though Connor has two goals tonight, Nuge played amazing, Draisaitl got a goal. My star tonight is Jack Campbell, because what a performance. He's starting to turn back the haters. He's posted a .962 save percentage. I can't feel bad for that last goal because it is Oscar Lindblom, and of course he has a fantastic story, the struggles that he's fought through.
It just trickled in so nicely.
Yeah.
So slowly.
my heart broke. My heart broke for him. I wanted Jack to get the hat trick more than I wanted McDavid to get or Jack to get the shutout more than I wanted McDavid to get the hat trick on his birthday. Oh my gosh, that was one of the most disheartening moments I can remember in a win in a long time. You just know at least this entire win though, especially in the third period, you had a lot more guys building on that confidence. Like yeah, Jack Campbell didn't get the shutout, but I think this was probably best case scenario for a victory because you had Ryan McLeod get a goal, you had Dylan Holloway get an assist, Philip Broberg got an assist, Jesse Puljujärvi, who obviously needs every goal that he could get. It was fantastic to see him put in from a 5v5 assist from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, which awesome to see again. 53 points on the year. But yeah, I think from top to bottom, just as far as confidence building goes, especially into going into such a crucial matchup on Saturday, because I think everyone I know the season's been up and down. Everyone expected the Oilers to win this game, kind of. We've expected them to win before and they've lost, but this is, after Anaheim, we expected them to win. And I think it's going to be really interesting to see this lineup with the way they're playing the young guys going into such an experienced team that's sitting currently, I think, 11 points ahead of the Oilers at top of the division. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I like the positivity, but beyond that, I don't necessarily take too much out of the game, if that makes sense. What do you guys think about that?
I hope they, go into that next game on a high though, right? Like
totally
feeling confident, especially like the other players who got a chance to score in the third period, and they're not really like the ones that would. So them going into the game feeling good like that too, I think it also gives you like a big boost of confidence, right? Like a fire under your ass, and also like you got to think like, yeah, I really got to bring it today, more than I did the last game. But it's good to go into feeling like that, right? And then hopefully end off this road trip good.
Yeah, Dennis?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you love to see guys, like you mentioned, typically not necessarily a scorer, someone like a Puljujärvi, right? McLeod, who's been struggling with the puck. And this was someone that you highlighted last show, Zach. Matthias Janmark looks like a totally different player. He is just absolutely nailing guys to the boards. He's speedy. His passes are on point. He's played amazing tonight, and I'm just so glad now that with Evander Kane looking like he's coming back from injury, the Oilers are going to have a real tough question as to who stays and who's going down to the AHL.
By my count, Janmark had at least 3 breakaways this game. 2 of them were shorthanded. He set up the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal. If he didn't get drug tested last game, he's definitely getting drug tested today, because I do not know where this came from. I was so anti Matthias Janmark for the first 10 games. I was like, what is burnt toast? He's like there's no value there. Like I wanted Dylan Holloway playing more than him, but full credit to him, especially his work on the penalty kill, an area where they needed to improve. I thought Matthias Janmark is, especially tonight, like you just see the speed seems like it came out of nowhere the last 2 games. He's been so impressive on the duo with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Where Matthias Janmark, that was a great guy to bring up. I thought he played awesome. He's kind of building on his best game as an Oiler last game, and then this game was just as fantastic. So that was awesome to see. One guy who I thought played really well, he hit a post, but the only thing that happened is he kind of got 3 penalties tonight, 3 minors. What did you guys think of Dylan Holloway's play tonight?
Ash, go ahead.
Well, I guess the first was interference, and I was quite nervous for that because I'm like, oh, what a way to start the game with a penalty. I was like, oh, it's never good, right? But it was okay. We were okay. And actually, Holloway, he like trains with my husband. My husband's also like a hockey coach, retired professional hockey player. So he calls him part of his toe dragons. The toe dragon. He's a toe dragon.
Yeah.
But he's like, so don't say anything bad about him.
I love Dylan.
I love Dylan. He's great. But yeah, that made me nervous when you start the game off like that, right? I don't like starting the game off stressed.
No.
I liked how we were ending it where, very confident. Obviously, going into the third period, I was kind of like, this is getting a little slow, kind of need a little bit of excitement. And then we got it, with the 2 guys that don't really score that often. It was kind of like almost like a happy ending for them, like a Cinderella story.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, it's a shame that Holloway couldn't get one for you guys tonight, but like being honest, the 3 penalties that he took, I would say 1 was maybe legitimate, the high stick. The other 2 were kind of weak calls. The interference, that's a big crease. Kakinen's playing the puck behind his own net, and Holloway just kind of nudges him a little bit on the flyby, and he goes down hard. I'm not gonna say embellishment, but if you're a ref, do you really gotta call that?
That was the Mike Smith special, to be honest with you. That's exactly what that was. But I thought the reffing tonight, overall, like obviously they won 7-1. Like I'm not going to sit here and complain about the reffing whatsoever, but there was some hardcore game management going on, especially later on. Holloway got mugged, tripped in the corner, right? There's nothing. He gets frustrated, takes that slash, right? And that's kind of like this, if they call the original penalty, which was blatant, because they were clearly just trying to get the game, to finish. They didn't want the Oilers racking up any more power play goals, because like you had Draisaitl getting mugged in the corner. The only penalty they called was probably the most obvious hooking penalty I've ever seen in my life in a professional hockey game, was the guy on McDavid literally doing what I do on the ODR. Like I cannot understand. I don't understand what the guy was thinking, but there was some game management going on. I wasn't too happy with the reffing, but again, they won 7-1. So I'm not even the nurse like phantom hooking call on zone, right? Like it's just there was some weird calls tonight, but again, the Oilers are the better team, and
can I bring up one quick moment with the reffing, like tangentially? During that first period, right, when I think it was Timo Meier had his own stick come up and hit him in the face.
He's mad about that.
It was so funny to see, because Puljujarvi was just like, I didn't do anything. Like, he's talking to the refs, they go take a look, and they actually say, you know what, we were wrong. And then the fans start chanting, ref, you suck.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys saw the replay on the big screen. You saw that he hit his own face with his own stick, right? Ashley, you've had times as the in-game announcer, what do you do in instances like that? Do you just sit back and just let the crowd go? Like, oh man, that's such an environment, right?
Everyone's going to get mad regardless, even if they're wrong, right? I feel like if we were in our environment and we saw that happen, I feel like the Oilers fans would do the same thing. Like, they would get so mad. But me, I'm just like, all right, I love it though when the fans get
Mhm.
that involved because it means like they care.
Oh yeah.
They care,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like,
Abs-
go for it. Yell, do whatever it takes. Let them know you're on their side.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of a southern US thing too. I've noticed like more in like Arizona, Vegas. Sometimes it'll be like a really obvious thing. Like more like I think in Edmonton they would kind of just understand what's going on more so. But here that like I don't know. I feel like it's a Friday night. Some people who aren't probably hockey fans are out at the game and aren't more so casuals or whatnot. Not people that would be joining us on Game Over per se. And those are the people that are kind of booing. But one thing that I also kind of forgot to bring up when I was talking about Campbell, and one of the reasons why I was so sad that he didn't get the shutout. I wrote in my notes like up until 5 minutes into the third period, like he played good, but he wasn't necessarily challenged that much. Like they were all saves, but you probably expect him to make, to be honest. And then Mark-Edward Vlasic with the wide open net, right? Jack Campbell makes one of his best saves as an Oiler so far, just comes across
Save
out of
of the
nowhere,
year.
robs him. I was shocked. I did not understand how that didn't go in. I don't know. I don't know what you guys saw. I don't know what you guys were thinking, but yeah, that was definitely one of the more entertaining moments of the game for sure. And again, when it is a blowout, you tend, like you said earlier, it tends to get kind of boring, kind of dry. So yeah,
Pun
that's
intended.
yeah, literally. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Leon scored a beautiful goal. Leon was sniffing all night. I loved what we saw to Leon. It was good. I actually we should check the ice time here. Yeah, it looks like everyone was kind of in that 15 to 18 minute mark for the forwards, which is awesome. McDavid only played 18 minutes. So again, going to Vegas tomorrow, you want these guys rested because that's going to be a much more intense game, even with Mark Stone out of the lineup for Vegas. I want to ask you guys about the defensive pairings. As in terms of like the expected goals during the game, I don't know how much you care about that kind of stuff, Ashley. Or if you do, because some people love it, some people hate it. I don't know. The old expected by whom. But yeah, Evan Bouchard and Philip Broberg led the Oilers. I think they were both above 80%. They controlled 80% of the expected goals when they're on the ice. Both Nurse, Cece, and the Kulak Berry pairings were below 50%. So this game was the offense for the Oilers was like heavily facilitated by Bouchard and Broberg. So I'm not sure what you guys thought about the defense pairs. Yeah. Ashley, if you want to.
Oh, I was just happy we weren't losing.
Yeah.
I was like happy we're winning a lot because my husband is a Flames fan, so I rub it in his face anytime that they score. I'm like, oh, guess what? Oh, guess what? But then he'll ask like, how his friends are doing and whatnot. So for me, I just like to rub it in anyone's face.
Oh my gosh. What's that like? Does it get intense when you guys are watching like the Battle of Alberta and stuff?
Oh my God. Yeah, it is like next level because he is from Calgary. I'm from Edmonton. So our relationship is like the Battle of Alberta, only when it's on TV. Other than that, we're great.
What were the playoffs like last year?
Oh my God. Last season, it was just like the funniest thing when we won. And then when when they made all those trades, watching my husband kind of fall apart, like watching his team fall apart, but then they kind of pulled themselves back together. I don't know. We get a sick kick out of this, torturing each other.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. I honestly I was so scared for the Oilers to play the Flames. I live in Calgary and I have an Oilers license plate and stuff, and I just like I kind of wear it everywhere I go, right? So and I take a ton of abuse like regularly, whether you're at a bar, whether you're out just at school or work or wherever, you constantly are hearing from it. And the Flames were no joke last year, so I was quite afraid for them to play. So thank God the Oilers won, because like me myself, I was just like you. I'm sure ruthless. I took no prisoner when the Oilers won, but I waited until the Oilers won for me to start talking like a little bit of a coward. But no, that was a blast. So that was awesome. And then one other question that I did have for both of you. We kind of talked about Jack Campbell a bit, and this is kind of where I was leading with that. Again, back-to-back game, Stuart Skinner, I didn't get a chance to watch Jay Woodcroft's interview yet, obviously, so I don't know the update on whether or not his wife gave birth. So he most likely will not be in Vegas tomorrow. Would you go back to Jack Campbell after the way he played tonight, or would you start Calvin Pickard for his first start of the year? Ashley, you can go first, and then Dennis.
I
I'll
was
ask you.
sick with Campbell. I don't want to chance it.
Mhm.
Especially you're coming in hot, right? And I'm like, if he's not coming in hot, I mean, you could always pull the goalie. I'm like, I don't want to like
Totally.
start it off by having, I don't know, how
It's
good do you
risky.
feel, right? How good do
Mhm.
you feel? I'm like,
Like, honestly, if it was Campbell from the beginning of the season, it's kind of dicey, right? But seeing him pull off the performances that he has in the last 2 games, the man's feeling himself. Let's roll with him. I feel like Soup's hot and he's gonna stay hot.
Yeah, I agree. I know in the AHL, Calvin Pickard doesn't have really good numbers this year. I think I know he's been injured, but Olivier Rodriguez has been the guy who's really been carrying the Condors. And yeah, Campbell's rolling. We finally can actually say for once that Jack Campbell's rolling, which is super awesome because he's an awesome guy, right? You want the best for him, and he's on a long deal, and you want him to succeed. So to see him start to look like he's putting stuff together, I think I said this last game, but his positioning and his puck tracking looks a lot more calm. He's not moving around. He's not as frantic in the crease. It seems like he's tracking the puck a lot better, and it seems like the results are coming. Like even in the third period, for example, you saw Evan Bouchard kind of deflected a Shark shot up into like towards Jack Campbell, and Jack Campbell kind of just swung his glove, caught the puck, and that was that. But like earlier in the season, that was the type of like random bounce that was going in the net on Jack Campbell, right? So you're kind of just seeing that luck turnaround pretty much here, and that's kind of where I was going. That it was just great to see. But yeah, this game was from start to finish fantastic. Special teams. They're like, I don't have one complaint. I'm not going to be sit here and start nitpicking the team like a lot of Oilers fans do. I'm just going to sit here, be happy with what we saw. And any other things that you guys want to touch on tonight?
Well, I wanted to bring up the fact that Jack Campbell, he's going to be a busy man in the next little while. He obviously is going to hold down the fort. It's nice to see that Skinner, who's having a little bit of a dip right now, no big deal. Campbell's got his back. But I want to see, we got a surprise guest.
yeah, he was snoring, so I had to stop him.
Oh. Sorry, Ashley, what's his name?
Oh, this is Mr. Papa Giorgio. He's for one of my favorite movies, Vegas Vacation with Chevy Chase. You know how the son has the fake ID? Nick Papa Giorgio? That's him. He's a C+ student.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine what it's like yelling that name at a dog park. It's quite the long name.
Well,
Papa Giorgio.
I yell Papa.
Yeah.
Papa.
Oh man. That actually is awesome.
You bring up a really good point. Ashley, a lot of people obviously have seen your modeling work and in-game announcing work, but you're also an actress, been in quite a few TV shows now, and most importantly, I mean, you're in an upcoming movie. Were you able to spill any details here? I know it's still a little early, hasn't been released yet.
Nope. I'm like, legally, I can't.
Don't worry about it.
I'm going to Cannes Film Festival in May.
Oh,
so
that's exciting.
Yeah, so that's like my first time I'm ever going to be a part of that film festival, so I'm pretty pumped for that.
Oh man,
So I'll be able to share more details then.
Yeah.
Well, no worries. I know it's actually you traveled a lot last year, if memory serves correctly. Not only were you between Edmonton doing Elks games, Oilers games, and then Saskatchewan, where you currently reside, right?
Yeah.
For the Rush.
Yeah, for the Rush, and then my husband, he's a coach for the Saskatoon Blades. So, yeah, we're here for hockey and for lacrosse. Yeah. But
you were also very busy in terms of like hosting the Canadian Country Music Awards. I think that was in Calgary, New York Fashion Week.
Yeah,
tons.
It's crazy to think about everything that I've done. Sometimes I forget, like because I'm doing a lot of stuff. But I signed like my first book deal this past year, so I'm going to be like a published author next year. I created my own jewelry line this year. Like it's been like quite the year for me. So I'm pretty pumped to see where this year takes me.
No, us as well.
I wanted to ask because first off, the fact that you're based in Central Time right now. It is the middle of the night. You mentioned that you're jacked up on the Dr. Pepper right now.
I am. I'm gonna have to take my dogs for a walk.
Bouncing between so many different things, how do you just keep that pep in your step, right? How do you go from one thing to the next?
I'm just one of those people that I love to be productive all the time. If I am sitting too long, like, yes, I'll need to recharge the soul after like traveling and doing a lot of work. Because I don't want to make my body exhausted mentally also. So I'll take a couple days off and recharge, but I love to always be productive. If I'm sitting at home and not doing something, I'll get like antsy, like, hey, gotta go make some dreams come true. I'm just like
Were you
motivated.
working out during the Oilers game, just going like, no, I got to do something other than just sitting on the couch?
I was writing and like twiddling my fingers and wrestling my dogs, whatever. But it was a good game, So I'm just like, I was just waiting to see like I said, a hat trick. Didn't get that.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm like, it was still a great game.
It was an awesome game, and again, we were so thankful for you to come on with us and give us your time and let us know your thoughts on your game and everything that's going on. And we can't be more appreciative of your time. So thank you very much for coming on.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Anytime you want to talk about how awesome the Oilers are, I'm here for it.
Let's go.
Mhm.
Now, to bring up the Battle of Alberta again, obviously it's going on in the household. We don't play Calgary until, potentially the playoffs this year again. But it was announced a couple weeks ago, the Heritage
yes.
Classic.
Yes, I saw that.
Commonwealth Stadium. And I think we happen to have someone who's very used to announcing in that stadium.
I think I might have some connections there.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'm gonna make the trip up for that game, so I hope to see you there.
Yeah, I'm like, hell yeah, they'll just see me running around everywhere. Somehow I got in there and got involved.
Get the phone ringing, NHL's calling.
Yeah. I'm like, it'll be sick to have a game there. That would be like unreal. I'd be like, hey, my work is coming together in so many different ways.
And now the best, right? The coup de grace would be being there with your husband and then watching the Oilers trash the Flames in that outdoor game.
Yes, that's all I need. And then, then all my dreams have really come true.
Yeah. Watch Markstrom put up an .835 save percentage against the Oilers in an outdoor game. I mean, nothing sweeter. I'm super excited for it. I can't wait for it. I've never seen an outdoor game before in my life. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that's gonna be fantastic. So looking forward to it.
Now, I just wanted to wrap up the show because we are getting a little bit late on time here, and we'll try to make sure that you could get to bed before 1 a.m. But are there any upcoming projects that you can talk about? Some of the work that you're doing, especially obviously with the Indigenous activism. You're volunteering constantly for the Stollery, Festival of Trees, a whole bunch of like inner city youth. With so many things on the agenda, is there something you can share that's upcoming?
Ooh, I'm doing a lot of traveling this year for different fashion weeks, like New York Fashion Week. I'm going to Cannes. What am I allowed to say? I'm working on my book. I'm still working and like training girls, like in my own time, volunteer, coaching and training Indigenous women competing in pageants. So I have girls going to Miss World, Miss Universe, which is happening tomorrow. I have girls that are competing in the Miss Teen Universe, like so many different organizations. So I'm just trying to help people along the way, like on my journey as well. Like if I'm succeeding in something, I always try to like open the door for who's ever next. And yeah, I'm going to be hosting a few more NHL games. I can't say what, or when, but stay tuned for some more NHL stuff from me. And possibly TSN.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I don't know about.
Is that a breaking announcement live on the show?
So stay tuned for those. But yeah, I always have a lot on the go, and I literally was planning my travels yesterday, and I'm already booked till like October, like for traveling. So I was like, wow. And then I'm already pre-booking for the following year. I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, it's weird to plan where you're gonna be and you're like a year away. You know, like, it's weird, but like it's exciting. So I feel like I'm just always open to see like what happens, and you know, stepping out of my comfort zone and trying new things and really kind of seeing what I'm made of, and yeah, just making my dreams come true.
Well, Dennis and I are cheering you on every step of the way. We're so excited, and they were so excited for you. Everything you're doing sounds awesome, and we can't wait till you're able to actually share more with everyone, and we can, you know, cheer you on, knowing at least what we're cheering on. But yeah, once again, just thank you for coming on. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully the Oilers start putting together a run here. The schedule is adding up in a perfect way to start, you know, building up those wins, and you know, we're going to make the playoffs. I'm not confident Calgary's going to make the playoffs, though. That's what I wanted to throw in there earlier. But yeah, it's looking good. So I'm super excited both for what you're doing and for the rest of the Oilers season. So I can't wait for all that stuff.
For the fans out there, what's the best way to find what you're doing next? You know, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
I have Instagram, just Ashley Callingbull. I have Twitter, Facebook. I'm trying to keep up with TikTok with the kids, you know. I'm not good with like the TikTok trends, but you know, I love scrolling that stuff. Yeah, you can find my socials by just typing my name on Google. It's pretty simple, but yeah, that's how you'll find me, and I'll post like my pics, what I'm up to, and yeah, exciting stuff.
Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for being on the show with us tonight. Oilers fans, you won't have to wait long for the next game over Edmonton. It's tomorrow against the Vegas Golden Knights, 8 p.m. Mountain Time for the puck drop. Avery will have that after game show for you guys. Until then, that's it for us. Have a fantastic evening, everyone, and play La Bamba, baby! Good night.
Good night.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.